As an Amazon associate, we earn from qualifying purchases. This podcast is supported by its listeners. If you choose to purchase something using links on our website, we may earn a commission. No books were warped, dog-eared, underlined with purple pen, eaten, cursed, cancelled, burned, or otherwise harmed in the making of this podcast. I'm Tom Tolkien, and this is the School Reading List, a podcast that recommends books you'll want your children to read and books you'll wish you'd read as a child. To kick off episode 36 of the School Reading List podcast, let's rip open some book post. And first up is Letters from the Upside by Katya Balen. Con is a boy wrestling with anger after his father walks out. Suspended from school and drifting from his best friend, he strikes up an unlikely friendship with Mr. Williams, the neighbour who keeps homing pigeons on the roof. Looking after the birds gives Con a sense of purpose and a glimpse of hope in this affecting read for 9+-year-olds. When Mr. Williams leaves, Con takes full responsibility and begins to wonder if the pigeons might somehow help him reach his father. A highly convincing, moving, and ultimately uplifting contemporary story about friendship and family, Letters from the Upside is perfect for class reading and discussion in Key Stage 2. Highly recommended. All About Antarctica by Marc Martin. This stunningly illustrated guide whisks 7+-year-olds off to Antarctica, the planet's coldest and windiest corner. It reveals what life is really like at research stations, from how people work and eat to the wildlife just outside the door. Each highly illustrated double-page spread drops in quirky facts, whether it's penguins, volcanoes, or even pizza deliveries. There's room for climate science, waste management, and the odd music festival too. Styled like a field manual, it blends travel notes with everyday science. It's an excellent gift choice hardback or showstopper non-fiction title for your Key Stage 2 library. To activate Space Portal, Lift Here by Antoinette Portis. Open the cover and suddenly Zerk and Berg are staring right at you, eager to check your teeth, quiz you about planet Earth, and call in their friends before the lights cut out. Every page feels like they're speaking straight to you, with flashing buttons and a cosmic portal that could snap shut at any second. Antoinette Portis keeps the pace playful and slightly anarchic, so bedtime or story time turns into more of an otherworldly adventure than a quiet read. Highly recommended, this uniquely bold, alien and space-themed picture book is perfect for imaginative 4+-year-olds. The Bear Who Wanted to Dance by Stephanie Stansbie and Wendy J. Warren. Rita is a bear with big ballet dreams. She trains with her friend Wanda, but starts to lose confidence when she compares herself to the ballerinas in the glossy magazines. With gentle support from her teacher and friends, she discovers her own inner strength and keeps dancing. Illustrated by Wendy J. Warren, this thought-provoking and charming picture book sets a ballet story against themes of self-belief, representation, and the joy of seeing yourself reflected in what you love. It's perfect to read and discuss with 3 to 6-year-olds in EYFS and Key Stage 1. Ooh. Squirrel and Bird by Laura Baker and Stacey Thomas. Squirrel starts out as noisy and full of energy, while Bird is painted as quiet and shy, or so the narrator thinks. Bird pushes back, pointing out that neither of them can be summed up so simply. Laura Baker's lyrical story, paired with Stacey Thomas's lively and vibrant illustrations, shows how friends can be full of unexpected sides. It's a thought-provoking and careful reminder for 3 to 6-year-olds that identity is not fixed and that first impressions don't tell the whole story. Highly recommended, it's perfect for reading and discussing with EYFS children. The Diary of Whiska Wildflower by Harriet Muncaster. The Diary of Whiska Wildflower follows Whiska, a small whiskling, as she embarks on her first days at Inkcap's Academy. Written in diary form, with colourful illustrations, the story delves into her search for friendship and self-expression. As Whiska bonds with Clearbell and Primrose, she learns to balance her creativity with a desire to fit in. All about the ups and downs of friendship and being true to yourself, it's a charming, relatable read for 7 to 9-year-olds who've enjoyed Isadora Moon. Highly recommended. Time Travel is Not My Superpower by Nathanael Lessore, illustrated by Simran Diamond Singh. Sarah's teleportation training takes a wrong turn, sending her, Georgie, Javier and her friend Jock hurtling into the past. They're told not to meddle, but staying unnoticed proves tricky when a birthday party and a ruined cake spark far bigger trouble. Nathanael Lessore, with illustrations by Simran Diamond Singh, keeps the popular series racing along with laughter, chaos, and plenty of superpowered twists for 7 to 9-year-olds who like their adventures fast-paced and jam-packed with fun. Highly recommended for less confident readers in Key Stage 2. Coach by Jason Reynolds. This engaging and accessible return to the Run series traces the childhood of Otis "Oti" Brody, long before he became the Defenders' coach. Set in the late 1980s, this vivid chapter novel for 8-plus-year-olds follows Otis's passion for sprinting, his admiration of Carl Lewis, and the shadow cast by his father's addiction. When both his prized Jordans and his dad disappear, Otis is forced to confront painful truths about family and self. Sport, loss, and resilience run through every stride of this early story. Highly recommended for Key Stage 2 readers and less confident readers in Key Stage 3. Scarlet Morning by N.D. Stevenson. Viola and Wilma leave their empty home on Caveat when Captain Cadence Chase arrives in search of a locked book. Joining her sets them adrift in greater troubles than they imagined, from Queen Hail Meriden's death to the shadow of Scarlet Morning and the riddle of the Great Blow. This expansive and gripping illustrated novel for 8 to 12-year-olds mixes tantalising plot puzzles with uneasy alliances and the clash of rival powers across Dickerson's Sea, with plenty of narrative twists to keep the voyage unpredictable. Scarlet Morning is a fresh and spellbinding fantasy adventure for Upper Key Stage 2 and Key Stage 3. Highly recommended. Space Tour by Collins Kids. Space Tour, made in association with the UK National Space Centre, invites children aged 9+ to take a cosmic journey using maps, images and bite-sized facts. Planets, stars and space missions are introduced in the style of a travel guide, turning the universe into a grand tour. Clear and easy to follow, the book provides a lively, fact-packed introduction to astronomy and the vast cosmos beyond. Highly recommended for Key Stage 2. Kofi and the Brand New Vibe by Jeffrey Boakye. Kofi and his friends are buzzing after their pirate station, Clipper FM, turns them into local stars. But the arrival of a flashy new rapper, Sniper, stirs tension and drags Kofi towards trouble he isn't sure he can dodge. With ambition pushing one way and friendship pulling another, the pressure builds fast in this punchy page-turner. Kofi and the Brand New Vibe is the third in Jeffrey Boakye's highly accessible, contemporary, music-tinged series for 9 to 11-year-olds. The Lion Cub's Secret by Lauren St. John. Martine saves the lion cub from a market and then discovers he was stolen from a South African game reserve. With her friend Ben, she sets out to return Tao home, only to find the reserve hiding dangers of its own. What starts as a rescue turns into a test of trust and bravery, as well as a reminder of what's at stake for wildlife. Lawrence and John continues the White Giraffe series with another well-written and gripping adventure that's perfectly pitched to children in upper primary school classes. Owl King by Bex Hogan. Ilset and Lyra are drawn into the fairy court where the Owl King is choosing a new bride. While Lila slips under his spell, Ilset hunts for a stolen talisman that could tip the balance of power. Their journey takes them through perilous realms steeped in fairy lore, old magic, and treacherous bargains. Owl King is a brilliantly written and highly immersive standalone young adult fantasy set in the world of Nettle, weaving folklore and courtly intrigue into a tale of survival and shifting loyalties. It's perfect for Key Stage 3 book clubs. Highly recommended. Be Right Back by Bill Wood. Readers are thrust back into Sonara a year after the first murders as Buffy, Jonesy, Amber and Cam reunite for the town's new hallowed fall fest. In this sequel to Let's Split Up, celebrations soon give way to fear when another series of killings begins. Each crime leaves a cryptic clue, pushing the friends into a dangerous search for answers. Online forums filled with rumours of old legends may hold hints, but the killer stays one step ahead until the final showdown in this gripping and relentlessly pacey chiller thriller for 12-plus-year-olds. Highly recommended. We Three Witches by Rosie Talbot. In 1930s York, witch Viola Samphire investigates a deadly fire that claimed her coven sister Edie. Gifted with the unsettling ability to see ghosts, including Edie herself, Viola hunts for answers alongside fellow witches Bee and Merle. Strange signs emerge, children's spirits drift into view, her divination tools vanish, and the trail twists further. It's a hot cauldron brew of thrilling mystery. Part ghost story, part whodunit, and part gothic romantasy, it's an unforgettable tale of magic, grief, and the fierce ties of sisterhood. Highly recommended. We Three Witches is perfect Halloween reading for 13-plus-year-olds in Key Stage 3 and Key Stage 4. The Transition by Logan-Ashley Kisner. 17-year-old Hunter is attacked by a werewolf while recovering from top surgery, and the bite sparks a struggle to protect both his hopes for the future and his friends. His transition, strained relationship with his father, and bullying at school all play into the wider fight against losing his humanity. As the danger mounts, his bond with Mars and Gabe deepens into a relationship that steadies him, even as he wrestles with what it means to survive. This poignant and thought-provoking horror allegory for 14-plus-year-olds is highly recommended. Thank you to all the publishers and publicists for sending us books to review here on this podcast and on our website schoolreadinglist.co.uk. Here's our rundown of great new children's books hitting the shelves this November. Silent Night by Emma Reed. Ask Me Anything by Bethany Rutter. Rune, The Tale of the Obsidian Maze by Carlos Sanchez. Coach by Jason Reynolds and Sellon Sanu. Wild Journey by A.M. Dessou and Joe Lillington. Spin a Story by Catherine Brereton and Susie Brooks. Ghost by Finbar Hawkins. The Gland Factory by Rachel Poliquin and Clayton Hanmer. A A Field Guide to Winter by Gabby Dorney and Dorian Brewers. Hot Food Nice by Michael Rosen and Neil Layton. The House Saphir by Marissa Mayer. The Snow Girl by Sophie Anderson and Melissa Castrillion. Dinosaur Friends by Miles Kelly. Anya's Quest by Jasbinder Bilan and Jane Ray. Snow by Mira Trehan. Bluey, The Sign by Bluey. Hilda and Twig Wake the Iceman by Luke Pearson. My Small World Frozen by Carol Hart and Harry Woodgate. House of Salt and Sorrows by Erin A. Craig. Mullets by Nick Sharrett. Xmas Marks the Spot by Paul Westmoreland. My Big Fat Christmas Pooh Diary by Jim Smith. We Fell Apart by E. Lockhart. Dogman 14 by Dav Pilkey. What If Every Volcano Erupted at Once by Emma Young and Super Freak. Planet Earth by Shoshana Weeder. Girls Like Me by Rebel Girls. Things Scientists Don't Know Yet by Peter Gallivan and Daniela Gamba. Robotics by Kate Perido. The Secret History of Christmas by Catherine Saunders. And our picture book of the month is Mullets by Nick Sharrett. Our non-fiction book of the month is Flush It Down by Rob Flowers. And our fiction book of the month is Wild Journey by A.M. Dessou and Joe Lillington. Bookety book, let's get reading. If you're a teacher, librarian or avid bookworm who loves children's or YA books and you'd like to review brand new titles for the school reading list, get in touch by email. We'd love to hear from you. The address is reviews@schoolreadinglist.co.uk. And now let's dive into the newest list on our website, Careers-Themed Books for Children and Teens. First up is the Careers Handbook by Sarah Paluski, Christine Rowley, Imogen Gray, Heather Towers and Claire Sutcliffe. This accessible and engaging guide provides clear, practical details on more than 400 careers, covering everything from social media and science to hospitality, law and IT. Each job profile outlines key skills, interests and qualifications, along with salary ranges and honest advice from the field. Aimed at teens and graduates, it helps readers explore their strengths and plan future paths. With bold visuals and bite-sized summaries, the updated edition makes career research straightforward and engaging for students and job seekers. To Vet School and Beyond by Lorna Clark. This engaging guide is perfect for young people who dream of becoming vets. It explores the many routes into veterinary medicine with real-life profiles of vets working in research, zoo care, fish health and charity roles. Packed with practical advice on school subjects, applications and life at vet school, it gives a realistic picture of the job. With fact box, quizzes and illustrations throughout, it's an inspiring and informative read for animal lovers planning a veterinary career. Engineers Making a Difference by Dr. Sheeny Samara. Celebrating engineering, this cracking hardback introduces 12-plus-year-old readers to 46 fascinating engineers at different points in their careers. With bold graphics, bright engaging colours and an accessible style with text broken into bite-sized chunks, it's packed with information, fact files and QR codes that lead to further learning. Engineers Making a Difference is a magnificent book for Key Stage 3 readers. The Long Audition by John Allpress. The Long Audition is a straight-talking guide for teen footballers who dream of going pro, and for the parents and coaches cheering them on. Drawing on decades of experience with England's youth internationals, John Allpress reveals what really counts in the race for a contract. It's not just skill, but mindset, grit and self-awareness. Packed with honest advice, real stories and expert insight, this is a realistic, no-frills handbook for anyone serious about the beautiful game. Exploring Careers in Cybersecurity and Digital Forensics by Lucy Sardo and Robert Osgood. This guide gives students and advisors a clear look at careers in cybersecurity and digital forensics. It explains what these fields involve, from analysing networks and digital media to investigating mobile devices, while outlining the skills, education and certifications needed to get started. With chapters on government and private sector roles, academic routes, internships and job applications, it offers straightforward practical advice for building a lasting career and tackling the growing cybersecurity skills gap. How to Go to Work by Lucy Clayton and Stephen Haynes. How to Go to Work is a sharp, down-to-earth guide for anyone taking their first steps into working life. It covers everything from awkward first jobs to office politics, with warmth, wit and plenty of honesty. Drawing on advice from professionals across different industries, it shows how to build confidence, handle mistakes and stay true to yourself along the way. Practical, funny and reassuring, it's an ideal read for older teens preparing to start their careers. STEM Careers by Liz Painter. This highly accessible guide maps out the many routes into science, technology, engineering and maths careers. It helps teens assess their interests and skills, plan their studies, and gain experience through projects or work placements. With insights from young professionals and clear explanations of qualifications and career paths, it offers practical advice for students, parents and teachers alike. Updated and easy to follow, it gives a clear picture of the opportunities available across today's fast-growing STEM fields. AI for Beginners by Rachel Firth and Rose Hall. AI for Beginners introduces 10-plus-year-olds to the world of artificial intelligence and how it affects everyday life. It explains what AI is, how machines learn, and how algorithms and neural networks work behind the scenes. The book explores real examples in search engines, healthcare, policing, and the arts, while also asking big questions about ethics, jobs, and the environment. With expert input and clear, engaging explanations, it helps children understand and question the technologies shaping their future. Here's a selection of exciting new book tasters sent to us by new and self-published children's authors this month.
My novel, The Collaborator, is specifically written for Key Stage 4 and contains no bad language. The Collaborator is a dystopian, alternative world story of young adults rising up against a tyrant, not realizing that there is a reason why he's a tyrant and why he is passing such harsh laws. The rebels commit acts of defiance and vandalism. The ruler is fully aware of their actions, but strangely does nothing to stop them, and even destroys evidence of their crimes. On a superficial level, this is an action story with themes of trust, compassion and betrayal. The underlying story tells of the lengths that people go to in order to protect the ones they love, the guilt they feel over the lies they are forced to tell, and the misplaced beliefs that drives their actions. The book is self-published and is available through Amazon.
Hi, my name is Clodagh Ryan, and I'm excited to introduce Sally the Spider, a joyful picture book adventure for children aged 3 to 7. One day, while spinning her web, Sally had the most curious thought. I have 8 tiny feet. Wouldn't 8 tiny shoes be really sweet? And just like that, she sets off into the forest to find them. Along the way, she meets friendly creatures like Freddy the Frog, Rosie Robin, Mr. Mole, and Molly Mouse, each offering clues, kindness, and a bit of fun. With rhythm and rhyme, Sally the Spider is a gentle tale of adventure, friendship, and finding joy in the little things, like the perfect pair of shoes, ×4. Sally the Spider is available now on Amazon. It is the perfect read for bedtime, story time, or little dreamers who love a fun journey with a big-hearted character.
Anna Denton and the Water of Life, the first of a 2-part fantasy book set in a contemporary world on the brink of climate catastrophe. It is aimed at 9 to 12-year-old age range, with a focus on dual heritage protagonists. The below. As fires rage and waters rise across the globe, the future has been forgotten, lost to the endless pursuit of more. The event forces an unimaginable worldwide crisis. Children have disappeared everywhere. Only one remains, Anna Denton. As Anna Denton searches to find her place in a burning world, she is thrust into an epic adventure to find and bring back the children of Earth before it is too late. Available from www.jhbpress.co.uk and ebook from Amazon, Google, and Kobo.
If you'd like to get in touch and leave a recorded shout-out about your upcoming self-published children's book, have a look at our podcast webpage for more details. How to use AI to help students with difficult GCSE set books and English comprehensions. AI is changing the way schools approach reading. Instead of a silent text on a page, lessons can now sound more like conversations that pupils can follow. Teachers can feed a class text, a novel chapter, or a news article into a tool such as Google Notebook LM and ask it to produce a script where 2 voices explain what's happening. The dialogue can cover plot, tricky words, context, and links to earlier lessons. Pupils listen first, then read and answer questions. It's still the same material, simply introduced through talk. Notebook LM now creates podcast-style discussions from teacher materials, and it's open to under 18s in education settings. AI can also build reading comprehension questions in the style of UK assessments. Teachers can ask for literal, inference and vocabulary items complete with model answers, mark schemes and step-by-step reasoning. Pupils can query the AI about why an answer is wrong and get a clear, jargon-free explanation. That matches what the Education Endowment Foundation says about digital tools that guide pupils as they practice reading strategies. The big gain is immediate feedback, something most classes miss because there just isn't enough time. For pupils that hesitate to ask for help, AI can be a quiet bridge. A child can speak or type into the system and hear or read a voice reply without anyone else overhearing or looking at the first question. It's a lifeline for those reading below class level, for EAL learners, or for anyone who's missed lessons. They can ask what a quote means, what a grammar term refers to, or what a line implies. They can ask again if they need clarification. They can ask why and how. They can ask the AI to explain it in a different way. They can keep asking until they get it, without fear of ridicule. Teachers and librarians can view the chat logs later and see where pupils are getting stuck. There are no stupid questions. There's no fear of a dismissive human response. There's no peer pressure, and, compared to a classroom setting, there's all the time in the world. Many pupils can read fluently, but still struggle to turn that reading into structured written answers. Here, AI can model the process. It can unpack the question, highlight task words, pick out what the examiner wants, and suggest a short plan. It can flag useful quotes and show how to link them to points. This reflects the DFE's guidance that AI can help with planning, feedback, and resource creation, though staff still must check accuracy. Teachers can demonstrate the method with AI, then ask pupils to repeat the process themselves. Personalised practice is another benefit. Studies on intelligent tutoring systems, including work from 2025 and earlier, show that adaptive AI tutors can improve reading and language sources when they adjust text difficulty in real time and offer regular short sessions. A 2024 trial with 85 secondary pupils found that those using an AI reading platform achieved higher comprehension scores because the texts, glossaries and quizzes matched their level. UK evidence on EdTech tells a similar story. Technology works when it provides practice with feedback, not when it simply adds more screen time. Schools can use this insight to schedule short daily reading bursts and group pupils based on AI reports. AIs such as ChatGPT and Gemini can keep a history of the chats. They can, on demand, outline learning gaps, concepts the student struggles with, and target areas to reinforce and revise. AI can also design revision plans from student records. If a chatbot notices that a student repeatedly struggles with inference or keeps asking about metaphor, it can suggest a week of short focused tasks on those skills. It can source safe resources such as online explanations and videos, which teachers can review and edit before use. The result is a clear plan for homework or catch-up, and at the same time, evidence for teachers' planning interventions. Still, there are limits. AI can produce inaccurate information, present text at the wrong level, or tempt pupils to copy full answers instead of engaging with the source. DFE guidance reminds schools to check for accuracy, protect pupil data, and make rules clear. Pupils need to know what's AI generated, what comes from the source, and what must be in their own words. Learning to spot AI mistakes is now part of digital literacy. Equity is another issue. The EEF warns that digital tools can widen gaps if only some pupils get guided use. Some AI reading tools work best in supervised or whole school settings, not as unsupervised homework. Others lend themselves to individual study and use at home, but schools need to consider appropriate usage and safeguarding. Teachers need to consider how many pupils have access to reliable internet at home. Librarians and ICT staff can run drop-in sessions for those without devices or reliable broadband and can save pre-checked prompts so that pupils don't have to start from scratch. That way, AI can stay within the school's safety net. Teachers can also link AI work to long-term reading strategies. Start by teaching one of the EEF's 4: prediction, questioning, clarifying, or summarizing. Then ask pupils to use AI to generate 5 practice questions on that day's chapter. After answering, they can ask the AI to explain any mistakes. It keeps the strategy alive every day without adding to marking and gives extra practice to pupils who need more steps to grasp each skill. Academic integrity still matters. UK colleges and universities report that more than half of students now use AI for essays, and schools are seeing the same trend in Key Stage 4. Reading tasks should therefore encourage talking, annotation, short recorded reflections, or in-class use only. Assessments can use unseen texts and timed readings so AI can't complete them. Teachers, however, can still use AI behind the scenes to draft model answers and mark schemes. Whether it's a teacher or AI showing pupils what a strong response looks like and why, using language models as a free confidence-building tutor remains one of the simplest, most cost-effective uses of the technology. And for further reading and resources, have a look at the transcript on our website. If you'd like to get in touch, use the hashtag SRLpodcast on Twitter or drop us a line using the contact form or messaging button on our website schoolreadinglist.co.uk. And all the books lived happily ever after. The end.